Why, hello, YouTube. This is BalorMage, and welcome back to actually doing PoE videos again. Today we're bringing you what is literally my favorite build. Actually my favorite build. I think I've ran a version of this build every league for the past like 4 leagues or so, which is Winter Orb, which is still an absolutely fantastic build with fantastic clear speed. Now, it is worth noting, this is a very expensive build. I would not expect people to, in mass, be able to run this build. We're looking at already owning a headhunter and having 100 or at least 80-ish X to spend on the build. And it is just a mapper. It does have the damage to boss, but it doesn't really have the bossing defenses that you would like. It is very, very much just a mapper. It is fully capable of doing 100% Delirious. It is fully capable of doing NEM 3 farming and any other mapping strategy you like. The reason I play it, the reason I like it the most, is because it is the fastest and laziest playstyle build that I have, I think, maybe even ever played. It basically, you don't aim. You channel occasionally and you run around and everything on the screen explodes, and it all has a really big area, and Herald of Ice explodes and chains out, and there are occultist pops going on, and those are always nice. And it's just one of the smoothest builds I've played. I really enjoy it. This build is probably more of a passion project than it is a build guide that other people should follow. But if you really enjoy what you're looking at, we're going to go over how a build works and what the important parts of the build is. So if you want to play Winter Orb, what do you need to know? So, coming in to in-game, you can see that we are in double cluster setups. We have a little bit of a weird tree. If you have used one of my Winter Orb builds in the past, you will notice the tree looks significantly different. We used to come over this way. We used to get some stuff over here. We used to get the power charge, and then we used to anoint this, which would still be quite a bit of damage, but not worth it with the new pathing. Now, the advantages before is we used to have 3 to 3.2k life and 1.9k energy shield, and we used to deal about 900,000 per projectile. Now we deal about 1 million per projectile, which is only a slight increase, but we've got 4.6k life and 2.3k energy shield, and that has made us a lot more tanky. So that's quite nice. So what is important? Important is we have very few layers of defense. What we mostly have is blast freeze and a whole lot of area scaling. So most stuff on the screen is frozen if it's not instantly dead. And that's a large amount of our defenses, is just freezing things. So we also have a little bit of life leech here and a little bit of energy shield leech, which we can get in many places. I got one here by accident when I bought my jewel, so I took it, but the plan was always to get my leech as energy shield from a synth cobalt jewel. Excuse me. So synth cobalt jewels these are quite cheap. I believe they were 1 or 2x spaces, and you just roll a little bit until you get anything remotely usable, and that's usually how I get it. But because I happened to get one here, I also took it, but it is not important. All we need from this is the corrupted soul. So what else do we need? So there's some very specific things that we need. Most of this gear here is non-negotiable, at least the weapons, the amulet, the helmet with +1 power charge, mandatory. The -9 cold nearby, you can do without. The increased elemental damage is not important. But what is important is that it is a Blizzard Crown and that it has Winter Orb +2 stages. Now, Blizzard Crown is very important. In fact, Blizzard Crown is so important, I would rather have a Blizzard Crown with +1 power charge on it than have an enchant. An enchant is less important. The reason for this is that adds 85 to 123 cold damage. That affects your heralds, that affects your occultist pops, that affects everything, not just spells, not just attacks, that affects everything. And that is a large part of the reason why our Herald of Ice can just chain across a whole screen like that, right? So that's important. It has to be on a Blizzard Crown. Our chest, you can do without the additional curse. Then you've only got one curse. It does make it worse, but you pretty much need the crit. And you must have Frenzy Charge generation. This is where you get Frenzy Charge generation. You also must have % maximum life as extra energy shield. It's super important. We do need that. We are pretty low on defenses, so we definitely need that. Boots. These are the standard boots. We've made these boots 100 times before. We'll make these boots 100 times again. They don't need to be elevated, but you do need all of the things. You do need Onslaught. It is where I get Onslaught. You do need Elusive, and you do need Tailwind. So if you can make Onslaught, Elusive, Tailwind boots, you're good to go. This thing, Frostbite on hit, super important. Mandatory even. Stats are great. You do probably want 1 minus mana craft somewhere. The 3 to 7 damage per frenzy charge is super nice, not mandatory. The extra cold damage against Children Frozen, super nice, not mandatory. Ellie Weak, mandatory. Nothing else is mandatory. You can do anything else is fine, but you do need Ellie Weak on hit. Now, we do have our Bone Chill Cull Hydrosphere here. We do have a Herald of Ice. We do have a Frost Bomb. We self-cast if there's something that lives long enough. Spoiler alert, there isn't. Maybe there is in like, if I go bossing, if I go to Cirrus and stuff like that, then it matters. But I don't generally boss on this build. I have killed Cirrus 9 on it. It can kill Cirrus 9, but it's not really a bossing build. It doesn't feel great. And we've got void batteries and badge just like normal. Now, important bits moving into the path of building. If you go to make this build, your AoE radius needs to reach 28. And so we do that a few ways. First, we've got magnifier vast powers here. You must have vast power magnifier jewels, but you only need 2 of them. Any more than 2 vast powers is a waste. So we've got that, and then we also got on a few of our jewels 5% increased area of effect. So we got those as corrupted implicits because they were relatively easy to do. We got one there. I think we got another one. Where is it? Oh no, that's our corrupting blood. Here it is. Another 5% there. And those 3 5%ers brought us from 27 to 28. If you don't get to 28, you only hit single targets with 4 projectiles instead of 5. So you literally lose 1,000,000 DPS because the total DPS here is listed per projectile. Now we have 7 projectiles, but at 28 radius, only 5 of them overlap. But at 27 radius, only 4 of them overlap. So you lose 1/5 of your damage if you don't reach 28. There are more things you could have done. I could quality my weapons up for another 2% each on these weapons because they can go to 28 on my void batteries. Also, you could use more area clusters. These medium cluster jewels on this second set here are not mandatory at all. These are not the most important things. We've got projectile speed and projectile damage and cast speed. Those are really nice. The cast speed is really nice, but if you have to put more AoE type clusters in here, that's what you do. You must get to 28. Also, if you're not crit capped, you put crit clusters in here instead. I happen to be crit capped and I happen to already have the amount of area, so I get to go with projectile speed, which is a very nice quality of life. Now, if you plan on making this build, do be prepared to spend, and do be prepared to know that for the amount of money that you spend, it is not numerically the strongest build that exists, but it is super, super fun to play, super fun to do really juiced maps on. I've really enjoyed it, and we're probably going to sell it up now and go with, because I'm running out of things that I want to do this league, we do have now a Mage Blood belt, so we're going to do something with the Mage Blood. probably Death South. That's probably the next thing on my list. Events are coming up. We got a lot of events. I wasn't really that into the Delve event. I'm not really into the Heist event, and I'm not playing Gauntlet. But we're really, really into the Delirium Everywhere event, and we are really, really in to the Invasion event. If anyone has any suggested builds they think are going to pop off in Invasion, I would like to know them. I still haven't decided what I'm going to play. So, that's everything. That's this build. The path of building will be in the description. Do not forget, please, to like and comment on the video for the YouTube algorithm gods, because it's been a little while since we posted, and that's how we remind YouTube that we exist. Thank you all for watching. I will see everybody next time. Goodbye.